Well, Eisenheim's a mystery, you know, that's kind of what I thought was compelling about him, is that he's, he has a very intense surface presentation, but you really can't read what's going on inside the person, even in the face of his own success or other people's responses to him. He keeps his cards very tight to his chest, and only as we move deeper and deeper into the film do you start to get a sense of what the things are that actually move him or motivate him, and I like that. I like the idea of this character's inside being very, very slowly revealed. So he's, you know, he's a mysterious. It's kind of like the stranger walks into town. You know, he's like this dark, mysterious figure who kind of captivates everybody's imagination, and yet they know nothing about him. It was different. It was very different than things I'd done before, which sometimes is sometimes that's enough to me. A fresh experience, or but you know, obviously you need to like where the story goes. In Neil's original script, it hewed much more closely to the story itself. It ended exactly like the story does. Over a period of time, talking with me and our producers, it kept evolving, and he changed it a good bit, which and eventually I think we all felt that it had reached. It was a really good thriller. It had turned into something with a really good twist at the ending, and I think it was ready to function as a film. The story is anchored by the question of, like, what is real, you know, and in the beginning, his presentations are so intense and convincing that he gets other people questioning what they've actually seen, whether they've seen something that's just a fantastic trick, or whether what they've seen is maybe almost mystical, but that starts to reverberate throughout the story as you start to, you know, he starts wondering what are his own feelings real, you know, and what is truth and illusion starts to become kind of the whole experience of the film. Paul's just an amazing actor. He if there's anything challenging about Paul, it's that Paul can do things so many different ways. He's so funny. He can be scary. And he can take something, and he can take it and do it one way and then do it another way so fast that you can get disoriented. I mean, it's like he's just incredibly versatile. Jessica, I think, was stepping into a tone or a wavelength with the material that was very different from anything she had done too, and I think some people were saying, you know, is she up to this with these people and everything? And she was fantastic. I mean, she just slipped right into it. I think she's got a very natural, she's very graceful, she's got a very natural poise, and she just, the way that people, the composition that people held themselves with, you know, the formality of the language and things, she just slipped right into it. I really can't think of the last good magician movie that I saw. I couldn't think of one, and I thought, well, that alone will be fresh, you know, a movie we haven't seen in a while. Fortunately, we had some of the greatest magicians alive advising us, in particular Ricky Jay, who is not only a great practitioner of magic and illusion, but a true scholar, like I think the acknowledged leading scholar on the history of stage illusionists and magic culture and performance history, and he's just he's literally like a walking encyclopedia of all of it, and he was the key to the whole thing for me.
You know, I'm sort of put on his trail to expose him as a fraud at a certain point in the movie. I mean, I'm sort of fascinated by him because I'm sort of fascinated by magic, but then clearly at a certain point, the effect he has on most of the people in this kind of fascistic world is that he kind of frees them up and makes them, there's something about him that sparks these people's imaginations and is sort of, and for that reason is threatening to the people in power and stuff like that. And so my character, I think, something about that makes my character sympathetic to him, too. Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was, it's an interesting period. I mean, you know, it's a sort of late 19th century, early 20th. It's a very cool period, and it's the setting's interesting. I mean, it's one you don't see much in movies, this sort of Austro-Hungarian Empire thing.
Tus tráilers, visita mi
With the
canal.
crazy whiskers and stuff like that. No, I was very excited about it. I've never done anything like that. Not this period, not a European thing, you know, in a movie. I've done American period stuff, but never this kind of thing. Well, you work with dialect people and stuff like that. And I knew a little bit about the period and stuff. I read a little bit about it and stuff like that. But for the most part, I just follow what's on the page. It should tell me what to do. Edward is great. He's totally great. I've known him for a while, and he's a good guy, and he's really awfully good at what he does. So, you know, he's one of those people you just walk in a room and you don't even ever think that you're acting. You just do it with the guy, and he's great. No, he is the villain, but it's a good villain part. It's not, you know, I mean, it's, all the parts are, that's what I mean about I'm not really a bad guy, I'm not really a good guy. Even Ed's part, he's not really, he's kind of a weird guy, you know, he's an ambiguous figure, he's kind of creepy, and you don't know what the hell's going on with him. But Rufus is great, he's doing a great job, and he is the baddie. And it is a good kind of bad guy role, but I don't think he could help but make it more than two-dimensional. I think he's an actor who can't help himself. He can only be really good and make the material even better, which is good to start with.
This is exactly the type of film that I wanted to do next, simply because it was so different than anything that I've ever done or had the opportunity to, you know, be a part of. So I definitely actively sought it out. It's one of those movies that you go away feeling so good. It's a really beautiful romantic story, and it's not just romance either. It's filled with mysterious mystery and you know, magic and fantasy and you know, a bit of scandal. So there's all these really interesting elements happening. Sophie and Eisenheim were childhood friends, and they were never supposed to play together because they're from different classes. You know, I'm from more of a royal family, and he's from more of a common family, and so we had kind of a secret friendship, and you know, really started to care for each other. And then we get separated, and we don't see each other for a long time. And when you see me again in the film for the first time, we're just kind of getting to know each other again, seeing each other for the first time in 10 years or so. She's torn between these two people, and also she is living a bit in fear of the prince. He does have a strong temper, and he does not want to be embarrassed. And honor and pride are very big things, as they are today, but very much so in 1900. So that's kind of where the triangle comes, and that's what Sophie's dealing with.
When I first read the script, I thought it doesn't matter what the director says about who he is. The function he serves in the story is to be the villain. But the fact is, reading it again, and especially the way that it's being done, I don't think even that's true. I think he's a very complex, interesting, sad character, and he has what actors in EPKs like to call a journey. But though I loathe hearing that, I'm saying it myself because it's true. You know, he develops, he changes quite a lot during the course of the story. It's fantastic having the writer be the director, because when he gives you an opinion about what the character's thinking, you can't say, sorry, step back, because he did write it. I have to kind of concede that, and that's been fantastic. He'll become much closer to the Hungarian Empire if he marries her. And through marriage, that connection is very strong. And there's talk, possibly, that he, even before he overtakes his father's crown, that he could actually be made ruler of Hungary, which would push events further. It would alienate him from his father, but that could actually put him in a much, much stronger position. Also, they have a similar background. They share a sense of humour. I don't think it's a great passion, but there's definitely something there. And Eisenheim seems to have some kind of connection with her that he doesn't fully understand, and as it dawns on him how much, it becomes a very, very big problem. Obviously, I've known about Edward for a long time, and you know, he's always been an actor I've liked very, very much. And I find him very easy to work with, and incredibly concentrated, and I believe him as the character. And luckily, I've worked with him enough now that I stopped thinking about it, which is a good thing to get out of the way when you're supposed to be feeling superior to him. And Jessica Biel, is fantastic. I think she's a real natural knockout. A very, very nice person and a really good actress. I think she's going to be great in it. When Inspector Uhl seems impressed and like, no, but it seemed real, I treat it with a great deal of patience, as you would with a slightly, you know, child who's talking to you about the tooth fairy of Santa Claus. And as it gets away from me, the people start to believe him more and more. It starts to drive me more and more crazy, because not only is it frustrating, but I see my power going away. Because the more the country believes in him, the less they believe in me.
And what I love about it is it has, kind of is about that moment when you come into contact with something incomprehensible or unexplainable and challenges your perceptions about everything. Well, Edward Norton is an incredible actor, as we all know. I mean, he's really, you know, one of the best actors of his generation. And he's an intense guy and, you know, really passionate about what he does and his life. And so it was just fantastic because he throws himself completely into the role. He learned all the sleight of hand that he does in the movie, and beyond that, he just learned about all the history of those magicians and how they carried themselves on stage. And, you know, he's just an incredible performer. And beyond that, Edward's interesting because you always feel like he is withholding something, that he has some sort of secret, which is perfect for the character of Eisenheim, who is this enigma, and we don't know whether he has some sort of powers or not. And, you know, Edward is the perfect guy to play that part. Well, Paul Giamatti plays the character of Inspector Uhl, and, you know, Paul's been playing a lot of characters that are, you know, eccentric and things like that, and this is a very different part for him. And I was actually looking for somebody to play this part in a different way, because, you know, the character of the investigating police detective is, you know, a conventional one, and I wanted to put a fresh spin on it. And Paul is such an incredible actor who hasn't really been given the chance to do these kind of roles. I wanted somebody for the role of Sophie who was a relative newcomer, who was younger, and who, you know, wasn't known all over the place. I mean, in certain ways, Jessica's a real star, but other places she's kind of unknown. And I wanted the character to have that quality, or the actress that played the character to have that quality. And what makes Jessica perfect for the part, other than the fact that she's this incredibly classical beauty, is that she has this fearless spirit, kind of a spirit of adventure, and the character of Sophie has that spirit also. She's willing to, you know, do things that a woman of her time would never do.
Tak, čekáte na představení, čekáte a kouzelník, tady!
Try it one more time, just not everybody turn at once.
Píšťalka je na ruce a najednou...
And cut.
Vážný, teďka, já vám dám takovej 15 minut a až se vrátí zpátky...
1, 2, up, 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 up.
Oh, look at that. We love that. Oh, just 1 second. We can clip that there at the top. Aha! Right, put that in the middle. 1 second. She come in like there, like that. And then on this side.
Some of the seats.
Hans, to take one step back.
But for another shot, not for the entrance.
No, just a separate shot.
Is it like somewhere?
cut.
Can you go to Karen and ask him a question about these people on the sides if they can relax? So next time they can quietly move to the corridor.
Yes. Can he start back and then lean forward as we go? That's what I would like.
Okay.
Good.
What happened?
Thank you.
Why must I be bothered with a magician?
He's proving to be more than a magician, Your Highness.
He's a charlatan, faker. He pretends to have supernatural powers. So, put him on trial for fraud.
Cut.
And more.
Let's go right again. There's just that's good. There's just a slight pause.
He's a charlatan. A faker.
Good. And Glory, can I see, what was it? Yeah, the last one was really good. That was good too. I really liked that. Ready? Okay.
The other one.
Yes.
The gardens out there.
Yeah.
Charles II.
Charles II, what do they do? Does that come out?
Yeah, it's a BBC series.
Like Charlie too? Was it you? With the curly wig.
Now over here. Hey, Paul.
Yes, sir. Oh, Howard. Spread out.
Everything myself.
No, it's the same thing.
In this case, it's a different. Song can go down.
Yeah. I agree. Don't make fun of
Please. What else I
Have you seen my acting lately?
Come over here.
No, I tend to look away.
Yeah, I know. It's best when you...
I did it.
Uvidíme.
No, uvidím. Proč?
Točíme, musím 50 na 50.
Dolů, nevidím tě. A teď jsi tam, tak tady, počkej. Tady jsi v pohodě na začátku a potom to jede níž. Teď jsi pod vysokořil. Ty už jedou dopředu, teď to dolů.
Could you take the camera?
Dolů.
So. Jo, pořád. No, řekni mi kam to.
About the shoot, please.
No, that take two.
Do it pretty fast this time, Rufus, if you don't mind. Okay. And action, Rufus.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We have many exciting guests for you. We have Jata, we have Joe.
Good. And cut. Let's just try one more. Okay. I'm going to do that and we get her to go. Yeah.
That everything can and will be explained, and that all mysteries shall be penetrated.
Well said.
That's when the applause should start. Yeah?
She doesn't go like this until it's offered to her. More just the surprise of a beautiful thing.
Překvapená a dokud on vám je neukáže, vlastně vám je nepředstaví, tak jste okouzlená. Teprve, když je vidíte zblízka.
Stand is in trouble.
63, jako take one, Mark.
B malo.
Perfect!
I thought we might begin this evening with a parlour game.
Huh? No, my mother was 16 years old when she married my father. And you? You can bear children if you're any use at all.
What do you want? Why are you trying to embarrass me? It has everything to do with me! You will not share my bed if you have slept with him!
What could cause the air to darken like that?
Perhaps he's treated the air beforehand with some sort of thickening agent or chemical solution.
Or the air has been misted and a beam of light projected onto it.
But where is the beam of light?
Máš to pro mě?
Stay home. Nevzdal jsem, neměl jsem pocit, že bych se musel zastavit, to vůbec ne. Ale to všechno.
Just because you could really run, right? Yeah. So let's just start you, I don't know, like another, what are you, about 40 feet behind it when you start?
Yes, sir.
I think start another 40 feet behind it. Okay, twice as far.
Get your arm out a bit so the camera can see.
Alright, stand by for last looks, please. Last looks, check. Takže to je na